Hi guys, good day. I'm Julie Roberts and welcome to another episode of Bio Out Loud. Our guest today is Tridel Edwin from 365 Group Inc. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, today we're going to get deep and know all about Tridel, the stories that you've never heard. You're going to hear them here today first.
Are you sure of that?
Well, it's not just about interesting stories. It's basically just about your life. So we will be fine. We will be fine.
All right.
So
Let's go.
let's go. Firstly, can you tell us what you do? Like what's your? Because I think that you're a promoter, producer, and photographer. So tell me exactly what's your career.
So when you say producer, I think you'll make certain producers angry, you know. But
No. You can just start from producer.
yeah, I mean when you say producer, I think you'll make certain producers angry, you know. But I am a producer, right? Mostly I produce videos, and I executive produce certain songs, right? But not music. I'm not musically inclined. I think I have an ear for good stuff, but I'm not musically inclined
Okay.
to like produce music, right? But to be honest, I'm just a business person. I'm just a businessman, a young, hustling businessman, an entrepreneur at heart. So wherever there are opportunities, I kind of navigate around that to see how I could.
He sells gold,
I sell,
rings.
anything you want. Let me just plug in this ad. Anything you want, try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I don't know much about you, and the public may not know everything, but that's why we're doing this today. So I was told that you're from the northern side of the island, and they say all great men and successful people come from the northern side. And I'm not saying that because I live in Portsmouth, I just was told that since I got here. So you're from Bon, Dodan side, where are you from?
Benz.
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 Benz is not the northern side, is it?
Benz is like no east.
Not the east, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, still no.
You qualify, okay, uh-huh. So what was it like growing up in that community?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm entirely from Benz, right? I was raised, as far as I can remember, all my life I lived in St. Joseph, right? But like primary school, especially during primary school, I lived in Benz on the weekdays and St. Joseph on the weekends, right? My mother was the principal of the Adventist primary school in West, the Marist Adventist primary school. And like all principals, I believe, I think that's a tradition. You bring your children to whatever school your principal at. So like there's a primary school, a number of primary schools like within St. Joseph area. My mother dragged me to.
Did that suck? Did that suck? No, that if you get in trouble at home, you get in trouble with her. If you get in trouble at school.
Listen, primary school was the worst. Listen, I went to primary school in Wesley. My mother sent me to primary school in Benz. Wherever my mother moved to, I would move. Then my mother moved to St. Joseph. I went to St. Joseph for like a month. I went to primary school for a month. I went to Rosa Primary School, Rosa Adventist Primary School for about 3 weeks.
Now we know why you know everyone. You went to
Right? Then my mother went to Trinidad to study. And guess what? The entire family moved to Trinidad. I lived in Trinidad for 4 years. Right?
You need to tell me about this.
I lived in Trinidad for 4 years. I completed primary school in Trinidad. Then came back to Dominica. I live in St. Joseph, literally 3 minutes away from my high school. My mother sent me to school in Portsmouth. School was the worst.
Oh, because you had to go to the Adventist school in Portsmouth.
Yep. My mother sent me to the Adventist school in Portsmouth, and I live 3 minutes away from the Isaiah Thomas
Okay,
Secondary School.
you know what? So now, like the questions are just popping. I want to ask you about your Adventist background.
Okay.
But before I go there, how old were you when you moved to Trinidad?
I can't remember the exact age.
Were you around
But
8, 9?
I was moving to grade 4.
Oh.
Right? I was supposed to move into grade 4.
So you don't remember too much about your life there?
I remember everything in my life.
Oh, look at that. I don't remember anything before
What?
I was maybe 11.
I remember everything about you. I was moving to grade 4, right? Because of the education system is somewhat different in Trinidad and Dominica. They wanted to put me in grade 3. I was not having that.
Yeah.
Right? So I decided to, no, sorry, oh my goodness, I was moving to grade 5, right? I was moving to grade 5, and they wanted to put me in grade 4. And my mother said, nah, we're not doing that. I did the entrance exam, right? I did the entrance exam to high school, and I passed. So I went pretty much from grade 5 to
Form 1.
Form 1. So I only did like grade 5, right? And
You went to high
went
school.
to high school.
So
I didn't even do like common entrance and all that.
you didn't do common entrance?
I didn't do common entrance.
Oh, fun fact about Tridel.
I just did the entrance exam to high school. You can do an entrance exam.
Yeah.
I did that, aced that, went to high school.
I used to be school?
Yeah. That was an Adventist school. Yeah, but yeah, I used to be pretty brilliant.
So, what was it like from that small age, moving from Dominica's, I don't want to say small community life, to Trinidad? Because even as an adult, going to Trinidad is like, over 1 million people. What was that like?
Again, Trinidad was amazing. Right? But again, you are wrong.
All Adventist
people. Right? So, like, once you grow up in the Adventist church, you in this bubble. You know, some of you in this bubble, and we lived on the Adventist campus, on the CUC.
NCC.
No, it was CUC at the time.
Oh, okay.
Right? We lived on the CUC campus in the marriage complex. That's what they called it. This complex where married people and their families stayed. So a lot of my friends I have from Trinidad, pastors' children and people like that.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
You know the feeling?
Yeah. I don't want to say I grew up Adventist, but I went to Adventist primary, Adventist secondary, Pathfinders,
Adventist,
so it's just like, I remember, oh God, this is not about me, but I remember when I got to grade 6, you could do the island exams,
right,
or you can just decide, I'm going to go to Form 1. I was so rebellious. I was like, no, I'm tired. I want to go government school.
Right.
But the moment I got to the government school, like a term later, I wanted to come back to Adventist school because like what you were exposed to in the government school system, it was just so different in Adventist schools, like rainbows and unicorns. Yeah, so what was discipline and punishment like with your mom being the principal?
The worst. The worst. I think that's something I wish for no child, to have their mother be their principal and their mother. Listen, in primary school, no teacher would correct me in terms of like punish me. I could do the simplest thing. They would call my mother. I have to sit there and look at my mother coming on me, and like I know the lady could beat me. You know what I mean? I would have beat me in front of all the children.
Oh my Lord.
Anytime, anywhere. She's the principal and my mother. Authority figure twice.
So if you don't get it at school, you get it when you reach home?
No, I might get it in school. And when I get home, I get it at home for embarrassing her in school.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I'm lucky I did that she was my principal everywhere I went to. Except when I went to Trinidad, she was just a teacher.
But you had that nuclear family at home, and also you had the Adventist background.
Yeah.
How has that influenced your life?
I mean, growing up and just having both parents around kind of, it gave me that balance, right? Not comparing myself with some of my friends, who turned out fine, by the way, but just looking at how that can affect a young person's life. Not having one of either a mother or a father in your life. I'm happy I was raised in that kind of environment. Even with the church gave me that confidence to do a lot of things that I'm doing now. It sounds strange, but it's true.
It's true.
Just being in that Adventist bubble, you build a lot of confidence. You're able to do things that other persons are just
Yeah.
shy and timid
Yes.
to do.
The church really place you on a stage,
Mm-hmm.
whatever stage in life too. Yeah, I can relate.
Right.
But
Even I always say this to my mother, like growing up in Adventist church, one of the things I did not like, I only found out after, right, is that you you get so used to being amongst like-minded
Mhm.
people. You almost feel like as if you know a lot of people, but really you just know a lot of Adventist people. When you go out into the world, you realize, boy, I don't know so
Yeah.
and so, I don't know so and so, like because I went to all Adventist schools, so in my circle I say, boy, I know, boy, I popular, and then you get out there and you realize, oh my goodness, no one knows who I am. When I came back from school, when me and my wife came back from school, we go out and shoot events. We try and do,
Mhm.
shoot the event here, shoot this, and who's the man? Where the man come out?
I know.
Where the man come out? Where you go to school? Me say I'm not from SME. Me say I'm to go college. So me say I'm not from grammar school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, the Adventist you grew up in is bubble. You know a lot of people, but you know a lot of Adventist people.
Yeah. But that's a Dominican thing though. You might think you know a lot of people, but then when you catch yourself, it's like, boy, Dominica don't have that many persons.
Right.
So then, so I can imagine you've been in a sub bubble of that.
Sub bubble of a small country. That's crazy.
Oh my lord.
That's crazy.
Okay, something I really want to highlight with each person that I interview is about their Maria experience in a nutshell. So if you can give me a little bit of it, you don't have to go in all the details. That would be great.
I think like most persons, I did not take Mario seriously.
Mhm.
We knew there was a hurricane coming, but I guess I think the week before, to be exact, the week before there was this whole preparation for Irma. And Irma was so dangerous, and we prepared, and nothing happened. Right? A lot of times we hear, get prepared, and then it was just a little bit of rain, wind, and so I can specifically remember the day of Maria, last, pretty last.
Adventist.
Right, my then business one day last we closed up the office early. We're like, we'll just go home. I think Rose was closing down, and we left everything in the office as is. We didn't try to pack up nothing. We didn't board up any. We just left the office like a regular day, like a regular half day at work. We went home. I remember sitting in my living room, just on scrolling through Facebook, and I start seeing persons saying, "Oh, look, plenty rain, look wind." By the time it reached like after 6 minutes to 7, I think that's when the internet, the internet went at that time. But like I couldn't click on anything. I could just continue scrolling. By the time I got to the bottom of where I could reach without the internet, I started to see like certain places were flooding. And I was like, this is very serious. Boom, lights went. And from then, chaos. Alright. The good thing is I was with family. So I went through the entire hurricane with my mother, my father, my sister, and my adopted brother. So we have a downstairs. We have a basement, which not a basement, a downstairs. We had to end up running downstairs with and taking the second half of the hurricane with them.
Yeah.
We took the first half, and we wait when the eye of the hurricane was over Dominica, and a little calm. We took the escape because part of the roof was gone. At that time, we were just sheltering in my room. Just all rooms we went to that we thought was safe. We were in the living room at first, and then we went to the kitchen. While we were in the kitchen, we said, okay, we seen the roof doing that kind of thing. We said, boy, that is. Then they went to my room, and I think we spent the time there until I came out. The next day, I can remember looking at her and saying, boy, right, all my friends are dead. You know, I mean, just looking at the devastation, I really could not imagine Dominica being how it is even now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more of a super, I'm going to be honest. I was like, boy, Dominica done. Dominica done. Yeah, man.
Yeah, tell me about your visa appointment, your Barbados experience
What do you know
after.
about that?
Hey, business on road.
No, I had a visa appointment. Like, it was scheduled for the week after Mario. So after Mario happened, I was like, boy, I wish I could just get on a flight and get to Barbados because I cannot see nothing in Dominica working. Right? I was like, well, I really try and set up my business in Barbados.
Oh, you're planning to run away?
No, not sure I run away.
Oh, okay, no. I thought you were just going for your visa.
That was at the back of my head. I was like, if I'm in Barbados, I can get my visa. I have really good family and friends in Barbados. Yeah, I have a
Adventist?
nice support. Some Adventist, I have a nice support system in Barbados.
Yeah.
So I could see it's easy for me. It would have been easy for me to transition.
Yeah.
Right, my business at the time into Barbados. Right. Luckily, I was able to get onto the flight. My visa appointment was the sweetest visa appointment ever. People were like, "Boy, try not to go for that. No, you know, don't go for that visa. No, you know." They would say, "Dominica, mash up. You're trying to run away." I still went, and the man just looked at me. Dominica, how's Dominica? And the entire interview was him talking about, you know, how sorry he is that this happened to Dominica and so on. I remember, like, close to the end of the interview, he's like, "Don't worry, I'm giving you the visa, I'm giving you the visa." The funniest story about that Barbados though was Rio. I'm sure you don't know that part. Rio called me the day before I left. He said, "Yo, Rio, I go into Barbados." And not even call. I think he and Ranji was
I was just
driving.
getting calls.
Right. He and Ranji, I think they were transporting, I will not say looted goods, right? They were transporting some stuff down to call you for his mother, and they stopped by my home. And I said, "Boy, Rio, boy, I go in Barbados just now, you know. I have my visa appointment and I get in a flight." Rio's like, "What?" "Boy, I come in Barbados." I said, "Rio, why you coming by? Like, there's only one space on the flight." Rio said, "Don't worry about that, father." And it's exactly what it is. "Don't worry about that, father. I come in Barbados." "Boy, I don't say Dominica, you mad, man." And check. No. Remember, there's no calls, there's no internet. Rio don't know the exact date I go into Barbados. Rio was driving again, with Ranji again, right? Just by the Coast Guard base. And Rio see people lining up to go on the Coast Guard boat. Rio say, "Where they going?" Those people say, "Barbados." They say Barbados, Rio, because we're everything match up, so Rio already have his suitcase and his clothes packed up in a Ranji boss. You know what I mean? Rio just say, "Watch out, we dog name." And Rio just go in line, and Rio say he going Barbados, and then Rio hop the Coast Guard boat, and Rio go Barbados. But I don't know anything. I take my flight, I reach Barbados. As I get to the airport, I see two police officers coming to me. They Tridel, Edwin. I'm like, "Yes." They say, "Come in first, please." I take it like, what? What is going on, you know? And they bring me to this room, and they say, "Okay, do you know Dario Sebastian?" And in my mind, I'm clicking and saying, "Dario Sebastian?" I said, "No, I don't know Dario Sebastian." They say, "So you do not know, just to be clear, you do not know Dario?" I say, "No, I don't know Dario Sebastian." And they say, "Okay, hold on now, I hear him calling." They say, "Listen to me, the young man that is there on the base and saying he is there for a trial. Trial does not know that." I say, "Which young man? A man in locks?" He was saying, yes, he have locks." I said, "Who, Rio?" And Rio in the back said, "Yeah, what did I try that?" Rio reached up Barbados a whole day before me, and he knows no one in Barbados. But he knew no one in Barbados, so he had to wait for me to get to Barbados so he could then come and stay where I was staying in Barbados. But that's the craziest story I have from Maria, because I still cannot believe we just hop on the Coast Guard boat and just take.
Trust me,
No.
I can't wait to document all the Maria stories because there are many and the variation of them, you know. But
Oh
I
boy.
like that one. So Tridel, you're a strong Adventist young man.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
I
you went
am
to
not.
all the Adventist
I am
schools.
not.
You come from this good nuclear home, and you know you're a good representation of an Adventist young man.
I'm not.
Then
I'm not.
you're producing for Booyah artists. What was that transition like? How did you get there?
Okay, I am not a good Adventist. Okay, guys. I am a horrible example of a good Adventist. I was raised in the Adventist church, so I can appreciate that, but I'm not. I just don't know. False Adventist. Well, to be honest, I love music, right? I come from a family of singers, and I cannot sing. I don't play any musical instrument, but I think I have an ear for good stuff, right? Um, even before even before getting to this whole Booyah thing and managing Rio and then, um, I've always wanted to work with upcoming artists from Dominica. Because when I look at the music industry in Dominica, I can see a lot of areas where I could help develop certain things, you know. So in the early stages of 365, we worked with the likes of KO, Anderson, Lyric, Messiah, Jay. But at that time, it was just Messiah, Remy D, Krista. All these names, and you have no reaction to these names because you don't know these people, right? They all did foreign genres of music. And I remember when we did that music video for KO, and we shut down that street by Levi's there. That was like such a big deal, to do a music video on that scale. I remember celebrating getting 5,000 views in like the first day. Was like, what? Like that was such a big deal for us. But like, I always wanted to just work with young artists. Fast forward to now, I believe Booyah music is what I want to be pushing right now. So I work with Rio, I work with Trilogy, DJ
like
Real
Trilogy.
Boss.
I like Rio also before he starts, but I love Trilogy.
Trilogy,
Not-
I will
just-
get a number for
Not
you.
just his music, I have his number. Not just his music, but his mannerism. He
Okay.
sounds like his age, yeah. Yeah. But he has that nice, smooth kind, yeah. I like him.
Alright, then good. Good.
But yeah, you work with Trilogy.
So yeah,
Rio,
work with Trilogy, I work with Rio. Most of these artists, I started working with them like very seriously, like after Maria. Well, just before Maria, I started working with Rio, and I've known Rio for longer than pretty much all the names I mentioned, because Rio actually went to school in Portsmouth.
Oh.
Yeah, Rio went to school in Portsmouth, so I knew Rio from before. Yeah, but I like I said, I love music. I also wanted to be part of the music industry, and I am doing a lot of things that can help,
Yeah.
and I'm going to keep pushing.
I hope you do because I'm gonna say this. I'm not a fan of Booyah music.
I'm going to
When I
change
think
that.
of, I just think of this, and for me, when I think of different types of different genres, you find within that genre have different ways. Okay, let's take soca for instance. You have jumpy soca, you have groovy soca, we have dinery now, that kind. Like
Right.
everybody's trying to have their little niche. But with Booyah, it's always that bang, 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 bang. It's like nobody wanted to have like the one that the girls can grind to. That kind of thing.
Right.
And I just wish that in Dominica, the artists will think about not just having the songs that have some sort of double meaning or just what people can just jump to. I think that Booyah can be expanded into, it will still be Booyah, but it will be something that is marketable even outside of Dominica.
See, I am afraid to speak about Booyah because it seems whenever I speak about Booyah, everybody wants to kill Tridel. I'm not really afraid. I'm just joking. But that's what I believe Booyah is missing.
Oh.
You know what
I
I
didn't
mean?
know this.
You see, you didn't notice.
Adventist minds.
Right? Oh my God. That's what I believe Booyah is missing.
Uh-huh.
Right? I believe we keep complaining about what Booyah does not have. And the truth is, I'm going to say it again, we have a lot of talented people in Dominica. Talented musicians. They do other genres of music they love, everyone to each his own. You understand me? But we cannot keep complaining about the state Booyah music is in when we have the talented or the most talented persons, the best songwriters, the best lyricists, the best vocalists, all doing other genres of music. You understand me? So for example, if you have a very nice voice, right, you will not try to do Booyah because to you Booyah is nothing. You will try and sing R&B, soca, anything else. So we have a genre of music where, and again, this is no disrespect to anyone, right? We have a genre of music where sometimes the least talented persons are singing. Take for example, I'm going to use my artist for example, right? Just so no one takes offense, because people are very sensitive in Dominica, right? So let's say Rio for example. Rio is not a better singer than some of the dancehall artists in Dominica, right? So if Rio goes on stage or Rio sings a song, a Booyah song, he say, "Boy, I don't like Booyah. They man can't even sing." You know what I mean? But then we have true singers, people with really great voices, and they will not sing Booyah. Or take for example, when you sample popular music on Booyah songs, we like it. When Issa have that song, dong 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 dong, all of us singing, we love that song. You see, my voice is horrible. Right? But anytime we sample, okay, right now the hottest thing is that the lighter song of Shensia, right? That Taffy just put on a Booyah radio, right? Everywhere you pass, people playing it, right? But a nice voice like Shensia, you know, people who can sing like that in Dominica, they will not even try to sing a Booyah. When we sample it, we can tell it sounds good, right? It sounds good. Like people are jamming to it. DJ Flip has been doing it for his entire career.
I personally don't like the sampling.
I don't like the sampling. I'm just showing you here with songs. Like why couldn't someone sing something original on Booyah? You get what I'm saying?
I heard this very beautiful voice from, I think her name was Jade, with the whole lighter challenge. She's from Dominica. She had a big flag tie her head doing the thing. And so I get what you're saying. They're artists, but when she sang it, I was like, ooh,
no,
Jade is one of the, she is, right? But
no, Jade is dope. Jade is dope.
But from the lighter challenge, I got to know that she could sing. So what you're basically saying that Booyah might be still small, budding genre, and it belongs to Dominica. You'd love to see Dominicans who can actually sing. Let them come in
not
and
even just sing.
Grow Booyah.
I just think what Booyah needs is just more persons involved, more persons in the industry.
Yeah.
Throughout any time period of Booyah music. If you go way back, you know what I mean? People talk about WCK. Who was WCK rivals? There was a First Serenade and a couple other bands. When I say couple other bands, we're talking about 5, right? Come down to my time, I remember it was WCK or Triple K. And even if there were other bands, there's Cross Vibes, Excess Groove, it's still about 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Still about 5. To present day, again, just before the emergence of all these new solo Booyah artists, it was Triple K or Asa Band. You had to go to a jam or event, you either get Triple K and Asa, or Asa this week, Triple K next week. You know what I mean? 2 main entities, right? Or performers. Let's look at any other genre in the world. How many top dancehall artists you know? It's more than 5.
Yeah.
And apart from the 5 that are at the top, there's so many others that are great. And then there are a wide pool of struggling, you know. Soca is the same thing. Hip hop, or any genre you can think of. Booyah have 2. No, it's Triple K, Asa. WCK, Triple K. You know what I mean? We need more persons. When you have more persons in,
budding, you know, and I just think that people need to take it seriously, as you're saying. You know,
but
more people need to be involved.
how long are we going to just be budding?
Yeah,
right?
but
We, yes, I understand it's a young genre, but we need to get more persons coming in. And that's when you're going to have variety, right? You can't expect Chubeke to make this song, the type of Booyah songs that you want to hear.
yeah.
There's a space for a Jade, you know what I mean? There's a space for a Stasha, there's a space, that's why I like what Signal Band is doing, what Shelly is doing. Shelly bring a different vibes to Booyah music, right? Shelly is different. If you look at Shelly's music, it is different from what Rio is doing. It is different from what Asa Bantam is doing. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
actually like Asa. I just because
I love
I
Asa.
really like. That's the funny thing, you know. Like you hear all of us singing. Okay, let me not sing on camera. But you hear all of us sing that wet fed song at home because Asa. You see, that's my point about it. I want to talk about your life, not about Booyah, right?
Oh no, we can. My life is Booyah music right now.
But the way in which Asa presents his craft, even if you're not into the jumpy thing, you fall in love with it because it's appealing. You know, like I just wish when Booyah artists start performing, it doesn't feel like, oh, what kind of music is that? You know, you know that kind of thing.
Right.
Because normally when you know something, you can relate, you just get into it. And Asa allow even if you do not know anything about Booyah music, when he starts, his theatrics and performance really it pulls you in, and then you want to know more about it. And so maybe that's why I like his music. But okay, all right, I'll leave that alone.
Don't leave it alone. You see,
This is not your Booyah interview, so I'll leave it alone. And also, I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way about not liking, but I just wish that in Dominica that it realized that you're the first in the world. It's so Calypso is such a big thing, but Calypso has already had its pioneers in so many islands. But if Dominica realized that Booyah is my thing, if I grow this thing, it's going to be a signature to Dominica. It will be an awesome thing. It will be a very, very awesome thing. That's all I want to say on it.
okay. So I'm going to say one last thing. We kind of keep Booyah like it's our thing, and we have this kind of feel like, boy, them man stealing our thing. We have to let Booyah go. We have to let it out in the open, right?
After a good foundation.
Hold on. I agree. But that's why soca is doing so well, because all the Caribbean islands have soca.
Yeah, but
Yes,
the
I mean?
champions is still from Trinidad. You have to grow your craft before you allow other people to just, because if the caliber of Booyah music isn't good here, Dominica isn't going to be remembered for Booyah.
Right. So remember my first point. We need more persons to get involved. That's how you create variety. That's how you build the base. You know what I mean? It's not just two bands or two entities or five. You know what I mean? We need singers, writers. We need more persons in Booyah. And from then on, it cannot just be Dominicans doing the genre, because we have 70,000 people here. I mean, what kind of genre of music? How much money are you really looking to make from a population, a population base of 70,000? Doesn't matter if you come to our diaspora, which is wide, you still need more persons involved. You know what I mean? So we definitely cannot keep Booyah as a Dominica. We have to have it representing Dominica. Dominica will be remembered. Like dancehall, there are other artists from across the world who do dancehall. Reggae is a good example as well. But when you hear those genres of music, you still think Jamaica. When you hear soca, Barbados have tremendous artists. Antigua, Grenada, St. Lucia. But you still think soca, you still think Trinidad.
Yeah.
Right?
When I think Junior, I think St. Lucia. When I think Bashman, I think Barbados. I think that everybody needs to find a way to put their signature on things.
So before we move on, what do you think about the idea of persons saying we should brand Booyah as part of soca, like what all these other Caribbean islands have done?
I don't think it should.
I'm doing the interview now. Huh? You see that? Yeah.
I don't think it should be. What I think is that there needs to be a clear understanding that Booyah is rooted with Dominica. It's indigenous to Dominica, right? And then it could be something like our dinery. You know, they still consider it soca or even
No, it is not. It is soca.
No, but it's not what we. That's not what a Trinidadian or maybe maybe a Kititian or Grenadian will think as soca in their head. Will think of it as a separation.
They think of it as that's Denry from St. Lucia.
Yes.
But they are accepted in the soca market as part of soca.
Yeah, of
Every
course.
time they try to do out of Booyah music, we fight. No, that is not soca, that is Booyah. You know what I mean? We have that kind of defensive, we don't want to be in all you thing. You know what I'm saying? At the same time,
I want to say something so controversial.
you should. Don't be afraid.
So, I remember when our Turned Up Lowrider did that song that Dominicans kept on saying it was their song, The Fish Dance.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Which he really made into a soca song with a hint of Booyah.
Correct.
Right? So I understand what you're saying. And for us, I was very, very pissed off about the response that Dominica gave about it, so that he stole it.
Okay.
Because to me personally, it sounded like, hey, sexy lady, you know, that book like that. It basically sounded like that to me. But we have a thing where we build our craft in Antigua. So whoever win, in the first place, there's a competition put in place, so our winners can go forward. So when we have a soca monarch, I think I've said this before on the radio, Dominica need a Booyah competition so that all the little people who are trying to get there can be seen. You know, you have semi-finals, whatever, then you have the finals. So these people actually get a chance to stand on the stage. Other people may join and want to sing, people with good voices, when there's a competition to be a part of.
There used to be. They used to be.
Okay.
This has been tried.
And then the person who wins in Antigua, they then move on to Trinidad, automatically get to stand on the soca stage, and people get to know who they are. Whether or not they get the same support as Marshall Montano or the likes of that guy from St. Lucia that just went, Tedderson John, they get that exposure. Yeah, so I think we'll have to take some time and do a Booyah video, because Tridel life is summing up to be Booyah.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so
Whenever you're ready.
I have some questions I really want to ask. Like, where did you get your hustler mentality from?
My dad.
Your dad?
My dad is a hustler.
Like your kind of hustler, kind of.
Everything.
Wow.
Anything. My father is a man that would drive sea dirt. I remember growing up, I can never forget that. We were passing through Collio, I think, passing by Collio on your highway. And you know, there's a purplish, there's a part of it that's kind of purplish, right? And then it goes into the red. And my father said, look at how different the colors are. My father stopped and take some samples. And for the past week, the week after that, my father mixing up stuff. My father make this kind of tile thingy from dirt. And was selling that. My father was, for my lifetime, he had the things I know my father did. My father was making furniture, right? My father was selling clothes. United Brothers at the time, back in the day, was like a big deal, right? My father was part owner of that, right? My father used to make this product called Banilo. He used to make this tea from pumpkin. My father used to do farming. My father was a construction worker. Sorry, my father's a carpenter, and he did mason work, right, within the construction industry. My father used to make this kind of bread thingy to sell, like when we were in Trinidad, right? Like, look at the model. Look at how vastly different all of these things are, right? And apart from that, buy things cheap, sell it back. My father said there's one way to make money. Yeah. One way to make money, Tridel. He used to call me Mandy, that's my middle name. You buy something, you sell it back. And that's how you make money. You know, it doesn't matter what, that's as old as time, and I believe in that.
Yeah.
You buy something, you sell it.
And it's so good to hear you be able, as a man, to hear you be able to say that I learned this from my dad.
Yeah, my dad was also.
Yeah.
Always thinking of something. Always thinking of something. I think he's driving my mother crazy, you know. Because my mother is the very opposite of that. My mother is take the safe route, get a job, you know, you work that job, pay social security, and one day you will retire.
Yeah.
My mother is the opposite of that. So I can imagine how my dad used to drive my mother crazy.
So we've covered almost everything, but we haven't covered love life.
What?
We know you walked a distance to go meet the love of your life, your previous love of your life. However, do you see children in your future? Marriage, well, you're Adventist, so yeah, but do you see children in your future?
Yeah, I want to have like around 11 children.
Lucky her.
Kind of late
Mm-hmm.
on that right now, so I might have to scale down to 5, 6.
Still
Yeah.
lucky her.
But I do want to have a family. I want to have a family. Um, I will get married one day.
Okay. All right. Tell me something that love or relationship has taught you, and how old were you when you learned it?
Don't trust them. I'm joking. I think I learned something this year. I learned something this year. To be in a relationship, you have to put your ego and pride aside, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't say settle, because settle is a bad word. But you have to give in. You have to give in sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to balance. Does it worth being right? Does it worth being right? And does it worth the relationship to be right all the time? You know. And I'm learning that. I said I've learned this. I'm still learning it. But it's something I think everyone should understand. Every man should understand. There's a lot of times you might be right. Your gut telling you something, but to make it work, because women hate a man who believes he knows everything and he's always right, and you think you know everything.
And you learned that this year.
Yeah, I learned that this year.
You're undeniably Dominican. What is one thing about Dominica that you're super proud of, and one thing that you wish that would change for the betterment of Dominica?
One thing I'm super proud of.
Yes.
I'm super proud of how we can rally around each other during disaster. During a time of disaster, I think this is going to sound so weird. I think Dominica is much better when we go in. It's true. When we're going through something, we come together as a people. You know what I mean? And then we tend to forget shortly after.
Yeah.
You know, but like if you take Mario for example, that's the most together I've seen Dominica ever, right? And when you speak to older persons, they will tell you that's how it was during Hurricane David,
Yeah.
right? We still, like it or not, we still have classism in Dominica, where persons believe, okay, I am here and you're here, you know. So you have persons of a particular class in society, they group up, then, you know. Boy, after Maria, everybody was cool, everybody was friends, everybody was sharing water, everybody was sharing what they had to make it work.
The one thing you would change?
One thing I would change? One thing I would change is I wish I could change, right? Or I would wish. Because I wish I could change the mentality of some of our people, right? One of the mentalities I wish we could change is follow. We have a follow mentality, right? Like we'd be afraid to try something new, and the moment someone else tries it, oh, 10 of it, 10 persons rush and do it. I'm frying plantain by the road, no one thought about it before. They see I'm making a little money now. They have 10 people trying to fry plantain too. You know what I mean? I wish we would change that mentality. And that's, I just use planting as an example, but that is for almost everything, you know? And it doesn't mean that we're not creative as a people. We are creative. We are talented. But I think we scared of being first, you know, innovation. We're scared of being first, you know? Like, boy, that don't gonna work, I think that gonna work. Versus, boy, look at that work for Tridel and them. Let me just follow. You understand me? Yeah, I wish we could change that follow mentality.
Okay. If there were two ways, or if there are two ways you could be remembered, what would they be? Two things you'd want people to remember you for.
For impacting the Booyah industry. That's one. And I want to be remembered for there's many things I remember for, but there's only two I'll choose. I'll choose the Booyah industry thing. And secondly, I want to leave a mark in the business, just in business in Dominica. I want to go down, like throughout our entire life, we always hear and know about particular businessmen in our community. You know, could be from, you know, that man at that shop, that, you know, that first shop. You know what I'm saying? Or you hear certain big family names. You know.
Yeah.
I would want
To be one of those.
to be a name and people recognize, you know, amongst some of these names.
Yeah.
You all know the names I'm talking about, you know.
Of course.
I want to be remembered in business like that. You know what I mean? So that's my drive.
If you had to choose roast breadfruit or cackle tea, which would you choose?
I'll give you last a plug. Awesome Cocoa. I'll take Awesome Cocoa any day.
Awesome cocoa.
Yeah, check out Awesome Cocoa from my
Okay.
partner Elias.
Green fig or dashing?
Green fig.
Green fig.
Yes.
What?
Green fig.
Huh?
Remember, I come from a father that used to take green fig and make a product called Banilo.
Oh, look
A
at
whole
that.
cereal from green fig. You know what I mean?
Chocolate or vanilla?
Ice cream or anything?
Ice cream.
Neither.
Life. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla, because I like shaving girls. I just being honest, you know, I like shaving girls. So.
Alright. Well, we definitely learned some stuff about you today. Do you have anything that has been public that you would like to clear up?
No, we're going to have that Booyah discussion
So
by
Booyah
itself.
is the only thing you've ever had that you would like to clear up?
Apparently, that is the one thing I've done
Yeah.
that was so polarizing. Most things I do, I get support. I mean, people complain a lot about Dominicans and support.
Yeah.
Every opportunity I get, I want to thank the Dominican people. I feel no matter what you do, there'll be people, typical haters, typical, that is natural anywhere.
Yeah.
But generally, I've received tremendous support from the Dominican public. And I want to say thank you every chance I get.
Good stuff.
Everything Free Survive has accomplished is only because of the support of the people.
Yeah.
Right? And I appreciate that. And I want to ask you all directly to keep supporting me. I'm just a young man trying to do my very best.
Yes.
Right? So, in terms of things I want to clear up, I want to talk more on that Booyah situation.
Yes, we will.
I want to say one thing though, and I'm taking a different approach. Right? When I made that statement some time ago, there are some persons who reached out to me. Right? So, I don't mind pointing them out. There's this artist called Fuego. He's a rapper, and I was like, Doug, like, why you're taking what I said so seriously? Like, what's up? You know? And he was like, Doug, I understand it's your opinion, and you're free to have an opinion. And his literal words to me, I hope I can say it on this. He said to me, Tridel, your voice is big as your voice is big as fuck. Right? Like, we understand you have your opinion, but you saying that, it hurts, you understand me? So I want to take a different approach. I'm not trying to fight with persons. I'm not trying to antagonize persons. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from following their dreams. Right? I just want us to come to an understanding. I want us to do better. I want us to work harder. And I will probably take a different approach. But other than that, we'll have this whole conversation about Booyah music another time.
We will. And I really want to thank you for doing this. And going forward, I want to find another young person that is beyond the triple threat like you, because today we see your triple, you didn't even speak about your photography, which I've been seeing.
I think everyone,
and,
everyone knows Tridel for photography. I just like to talk about something else. because just nice to talk. Not that I am getting out of the industry. I see some man probably like, yes, he leaving.
So going forward, I really, really love when I'm speaking to a young person about their bio. They could be like, man, I'm into this, I'm into that, and that. Because I think that's the way forward. That's the way of the rich. They realize there's a market for something, and without having qualifications for it, they find people to fill it so they can make money. And it's a beautiful thing as a young man in Dominica, in a country that is now upcoming, to see that you have that hustle and that zeal. So I want to say that I appreciate that. I really love to see that.
Okay.
So thank you for being a part of Bio Out Loud, guys. Keep looking out for different videos. We're not just doing the young, the beautiful, but we're also doing the older guys, the people that we no longer speak to in society, thinking that they are what we call paro or, vagrants or whatever. We're trying to capture every aspect of Dominica and Dominican people in that little bottle called the Bio Out Loud. So until next time, I'm Julie Roberts. We're with Tridel today from 365 Groups Inc. And I'll see you. Bye.